a very special guest, Maisha Collins. I don't know if you want me to put your whole government out there.
That's fine.
It's fine.
I don't owe nobody no money.
She's here with Blue Girls Turned Gold, and we've been talking about this for a while now, and I just can't wait for you to share more information about it.
Yes. Hello, everybody. So Blue Girls Turn Gold. My name is Maisha, and Blue Girl Turn Gold is a movement of basically the vision of making sure that women, men as well, but my focus is women, know their value. So sometimes we go from not knowing our worth, how great we are, and now it's time for us to actually tap into that and own it. So our goal is to empower women through workshops and through resources to help them get to their best, highest self and get to that point where they know how great they are.
Tell me a little bit about what made you start Blue Girl Turn Gold.
Ooh, so I am a blue girl. What I'll start with is I was a teen mom, actually a preteen mom, at 15. And at 15 in 1995, you really didn't have a lot of resources besides your family support. And most people on the outside really didn't look at you as you're going to be an asset to the community, because at this point you have a child, so it's now you're a statistic. And going through that and then joining the military and being sexually assaulted, I also then found myself without certain resources that I needed to get better, to heal, and to actually deal with the trauma that I went through. So Blue Girls Turn Gold, probably about 2 years ago, I just started thinking about how I could impact other people and ensure that resources and tools were available so that they didn't really necessarily have to go through how I went through 15 years of not speaking about things and holding things in, and then basically making yourself sick instead of dealing with issues. So that's basically what we're trying to do with this organization, is just empower and basically just get us to the point where we understand that we are greater. I am greater. And by influencing each other and healing each other and sharing, that we can all get to our best collective highest selves.
So we're going to break it down a little bit further. What's a blue girl?
Blue girl. Blue girl is a girl that she doesn't know where she's going. She's taught that she is not the things that she feels she is. She doesn't feel worthy. She doesn't have the resources to make herself better. So therefore, she may not, she won't achieve the goals that she needs to achieve for herself. So it's kind of like she's stagnant. A blue girl is stagnant. They don't know their wealth. They don't know their worth. They don't know how important they are.
And so what does it take for me to graduate to a gold girl?
It's literally, for me, it had to be a paradigm shift. Literally a shift where you actually start knowing that you're great. You start knowing that you're here for a reason and that you're going to go through things, but everybody's going through these experiences. So you know that you're great, and you deal with these experiences as they come in a more positive. It's the same experience, but you're looking at it differently. You're behaving differently. You're changing your emotions. You're detaching things that hurt you from your emotions, because sometimes we'll see our expectations are this person should be doing this. So then you feel a certain way when they're not doing that. But if you focus on you, and if you're always making you happy, I guarantee everybody else is going to make you happy, and everybody else around you is going to be doing the same thing that you're doing. So it's kind of surrounding yourself with that and then changing your perspective of everything.
And I was telling Maisha, the one thing that I love about Blue Girl Turn Gold, it's like a playbook that we didn't have growing up.
Nope. We didn't.
And you know, in the world that we live in, the young women now, we need it. They need it.
Yeah, they're kind of lost.
Yes.
And I see it. And I mean, even when I was younger, I won't say that we weren't lost, but now it's kind of like it's okay for them to demean themselves, and it's okay for you not to know your value, because, you know, by you not knowing your value, you're really not going to go anywhere, but you'll always be that sidekick to people that need you. And that's not what you want to be. You want to be your own leader and your own best self, so that you can get to everything that you want, because you're not going to be able to do that, you know, following people that aren't tapped into what they're supposed to be doing as well.
Right. And so what activities do you do? What programs, what workshops do you do to help transition from blue to gold?
We have a few workshops. One of the main ones that we start with is called Genius is Common. And the reason why I start with that is when I start with the youth, it's more trying to embed that idea that they are a genius. So it's kind of like I'm already trying to get the youth to think I am great and these are the great things about me, so that when they do come into experiences where they might not be meeting their targets or somebody's telling them this or this happened to them, that they're able to say, well, wait a minute, my natural genius is this, so I know I can get through it. This is just what I got to focus on. This is what I need to tap into. So that's Genius is Common. Another one that we do that is real good just for communication is effective communication, and that's basically teaching people their communication style. So sometimes if I'm talking and I'm a gold, I like things to be in a logical, chronological order, things like that. But I could be talking to somebody that just likes sound bites. So I have to understand what your style is so I can make sure I'm communicating so you can get the message effectively. Yeah. So I kind of show them how to do that. And that's a real good one because we often communicate. We all know that communication is one of the biggest reasons why relationships don't work.
Yes, it is.
So understanding your own communication style and then trying to identify when you're talking to somebody what their style is, it'll help you to communicate better. So that's one of the other courses. We have another one, Performance, Image, and Exposure. That's called PI. And that's basically, normally I do that with women that are going back into the workforce that may have been in a domestic violence situation. And basically what that is showing them how to ensure that they're performing on a certain level, that they have the right image and they have the right exposure when they're going into these positions for the goals that they want. And then I, of course, help them with achieving whatever career goals they have when they start somewhere. So that's 3 of the main workshops that we do.
So is it, do you have like a team that works with you? Because that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So right now it's me and I have another young lady, Tristan, that helps me. She's here in Norfolk. So she'll come out to some of the workshops and help me. What we're really trying to do is get all these workshops online because I want it to be where anybody can access it. One of the biggest things that I have an issue with is parents bringing their children to the events. So right now during the summer, I am teaming with From One Hand to Another. And we're going to elementary schools and middle schools in the area to push out these workshops. But I still know that's not going to make the impact that I need. So I know I want to get these online.
From One Hand to Another, that's Steph?
That's Steph. Yes, Miss Walters.
That is a good friend of mine. She came here. That's how I met her.
Oh, really?
I met her through Iheart Communities. I actually found her on LinkedIn. And I knew, like, I'd heard about everything that she's doing in the community. And so I brought her in. We started talking about From One Hand to Another. But she is involved in so much.
Everything.
That we talked about 5 different organizations that she's involved in right now.
And she's doing the work. And that's what we need. We need more people like her because it's easy to sit back and say this is what we need to do. But we need the people that's actually going to go out there and do the footwork. Yeah. So, I hooked up with Stephanie and I love her. And, she's expecting. So
yes, I'm excited. We went out for brunch one day. And this is so off topic.
That's right.
We went out for brunch, and I ordered my little mimosa, and I thought that's why we were there. And she ordered some water. I'm like, what's going on? And so she finally told me a couple weeks ago. She's like, yeah, this is why I couldn't drink when we went out for brunch. I'm like, girl, you couldn't give me a hint.
Right, because I'm looking at you like you crazy.
Right, like why I'm the only one out here drinking. Yeah,
right. What time is it? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I love Stephanie. So I have I met up with her. I cannot remember what I met her through, but just talking to her and being able to talk about the organization, it was just like we was an instant fit. It's kind of like now I'm understanding you work with people that's on the same path. Yeah. It's not my job to try to convince people outside.
Exactly.
So I just got to do the work with the people that's already aligned.
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
It does. It makes sense. So I'm glad to hear that you're going to be working with her.
Yes. The workshop we had yesterday was so awesome because they talked about the Genius is Common. And the kids got to perform their genius. So let's say a student said they love math or they love to dance. We actually gave them an opportunity to come up in front of everybody and say, hey, you say your name, you tell them that you're a genius, and you let them know what your genius is. And you perform. And it was just inspirational to watch that for me because it's just like I want them to feel that they have control over their future.
I like that because how often do you get a chance to brag about yourself?
Never. And most people can't.
Yourself. You can't without being labeled arrogant or
narcissistic.
Yep.
And it's so like, why is it bad for me to say I am great?
Yes. So I like that you're instilling that in these kids. It's like, praise yourself, uplift yourself.
You have to. And that's what I didn't learn when I was younger.
Yeah.
I thought all that had to come from people around me.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the power that I had.
Like, self-motivation is key. It's
key. The only thing, really.
Yeah. But it's like I think a lot of times people look to the outside for confirmation. Mm-hmm. When really all the confirmation you need is within yourself.
Yes.
So it's great that you are instilling that in these young kids now, so that they know now. And this is what I'm talking. That's why I say it's a playbook, because we didn't know this. We didn't know growing up that it's okay for me to say, "Hey, I'm great.
Right.
I'm good at math." Like for me, I love meteorology. I passed my meteorology class based off of the Weather Channel. I didn't buy the book, just off of what I learned on the Weather Channel. I'm great at me. If radio doesn't work out, I know where I'm going.
That's where you're gonna be. Wow.
Right. And
but that's what I'm saying. But this is your natural gene. Like, that's just what you love. And it's like,
so to be able to just say, "Hey, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm great at." And let me tell you why. Like that, I love that. I want to hear kids do more of that.
Yes, and like I said, it's so inspirational because, like you said, we didn't have that, and it's like when I watched them, I'm like, man, I just wish. Yeah. I know there's so many. I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm like, the kids that I grew up around, if they would have just had an inkling of this, they would have been something different, and they would have been like, oh, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. I actually can just do this, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But we're not taught that. We're taught to fall into categories, and if you can't do this, then you're not good enough. And it's like, no, there's something already in us that, the God has put into us already, that we already have. We just need somebody to help us nurture that.
Exactly. Well, what communities are you working with right now?
Right now, so we're here in Norfolk, but I also go to Atlanta a lot. That's where I'm kind of out of Atlanta and out of here. The thing with me, with the communities that I serve, is funny because they're like, well, what communities? And I'm like, well, I was in the military, so I've lived everywhere. Oh. So I have touched people that live in different areas. Yeah. And so that's why I was like, with the online thing, it'll be easier for me to connect, because I can't be everywhere, and my team wouldn't be able to be everywhere. Right. But if I can get this idea to just those communities where I've lived at or where I know people at, then I can make an impact that way as well. Gotcha. So right now I live in Chesapeake, Virginia, and like I said, I was military, so I've been here before. But I do a lot of workshops out of Virginia and out of Atlanta are the main two places. Wow. So it's been pretty exciting. It's a lot of work, but it's funny because my son, he was like, you probably want me to tell, but he one day we were talking. Now I had a job, I was making $80,000. It just didn't work out for me. It was a very toxic environment, and it didn't let me be creative and do what I need to do, even though it was supposed to be that. So it was funny when I started doing, the workshops and stuff. My son, he's 14, and he was like, Mom, I don't think this activist thing is working out for you. And I said, oh. And he was like, yeah, I went in the kitchen and I don't see nothing to eat. And I'm like, there's food in there to eat, boy. You better go in there. You just used to being able to get this, and this, and this. So, we had Doritos and all the little snacks, and they're like, no, we don't have that no more. But I said, but that's okay, because you don't need all that. It's just funny because he was just like, I just feel like my life is diminishing. I'm like, really? He won't even come out to the car wash. He came out to do one car wash. I'm like, but your life is diminishing. But it was just funny because his perspective is like, why are you trying to help all these people when you over here struggling? I'm like, but I'm not struggling. I got enough. Yeah. And that's what I just try to keep in mind, because I'm like, I've been in positions where I've had enough money, but that still didn't make me happy.
Yeah, money is not always satisfying. I left a lot of money to pursue radio. Yeah. Knowing that, a lot of people, you always hear, oh, the money's not in radio. And I'll say that I'm blessed. Yeah.
That's it. and that's the biggest thing. It's like abundance. You're going to have an abundance of everything. But for me, the thing that I kind of love is that I connect, when I'm working with these communities, the leaders that I'm connecting with. So that is my money. To me, that's my wealth, because it's like they're passing the mission along, which is what I need. That's what I'm here for. So,
well, we know Maisha doing something right, because Miss Activist, best activist of our Best of the Seven Cities Awards Gala. So we should have mentioned that in the beginning, because Because I remember I presented you that.
Yes,
award,
you did.
I remember how excited you got.
I know, because I was like, who? Oh, me? Okay. Because I'm not like, it's hard because it's like, I want the recognition because I need the word spread. And it's not like I'm trying to win for any other reason. So when I won, I'm like, oh, okay.
That means that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
That you're doing
the work
you're doing a lot of work out here, and Blue Girl Turn Gold. I like it explains a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're not just talking to single moms, just from your perspective and what you went through. You're talking young women, period.
In general.
And that's a huge. Like you never gonna run out of people to talk to.
Never.
Just young women coming up every day.
My family's enough. Like I'm not talking to y'all today. Y'all stress me.
Exactly.
But yeah, we had, and like you said, what we were talking before earlier is like just getting them to that point. I think women don't know, they're not naturally. It's kind of like they're not honored or they're not supported when they're born. It's like they're like, oh, they're cute and but they're not really given the skills to be like, hey. First thing you need to do is love yourself. And these are the things you can do to do that. And then you won't get into these other relationships and stuff because you'll be like, this don't feel good. And this is not what you're supposed to do. Versus when I was younger, it was kind of like everybody was in these relationships. So it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, he did it too. And get over it. Like, and it's like, but dang, why does it make me feel a certain kind of way? Why can't I just be happy? And so you got to tap into your gold self, which is the self that's always going to make sure you're good.
Gold self. I like that. So if you're just tuning in, I'm here with Maisha from Blue Girls Turn Gold. Tell me, what's next?
Ooh, what's next?
Sounds like a lot.
Yes, it's a lot. Okay, so we have Blue Girl Turn 1, Volume 1. We have a book with our organization. And
is that what I have in front of me?
Yes, and those proceeds go direct. That's basically what funds these workshops that I do. So it's on Amazon, it's on Barnes & Noble. We're working on Volume 2. And like I said, the proceeds for those books go directly to our workshops because that's how I keep the money coming in so that I can, print and have these events because I do painting workshops and stuff like that. So that's what I did with the book to bring in an additional revenue stream. And then as far as the production company that I'm working with, 360 Arts and Production, we are working on I want to say play maybe, a Blue Girl Turn Gold. Ooh. And partnering with Zyder American Dream Theater. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're in the Virginia Beach area. They are currently building a new theater it's in Town Center across from Cold Press.
I know. I know.
So I went to go visit the site. Yes, it's beautiful. Oh. I went to go visit the site with Sybil Galindez. She's one of the coordinators there, and they're actually going to grand open in October, so they're actually looking for volunteers, which I told her I was going to volunteer. But it's just a theater where basically giving people the creative outlet to perform. And so what we want to do is take Blue Girl Turn Gold and put it into a play so we can have a visual as well. And then see how that goes. And then hopefully, we get on this bestseller list and take off. Because at the end of the day, I just want us to have the resources. I know we could just be so much better if we all just unite and get the resources that we need.
Absolutely. Well, I'll definitely post a link to her book. Yes, so that y'all can see it, read it, and support her. And how can they contact you for more info? Oh,
more info. You can email me at bluegirlsturngold@gmail.com.
That was easy.
I'm on Instagram, Blue Girls Turn Gold.
Yes, you are.
And I'm on Twitter. It's Blue Turn Gold because Blue Girl Turn Gold. Somebody snatched it up.
Somebody took it.
I don't know who did it. Lord. Probably the best way because, Blue Girls Turn Gold on Instagram, I get right back to you because it's easy for me to reply back. And the next workshop we have is August 3rd at the Greenbrier Library in Chesapeake, Virginia at 11.
Okay.
And it's free. So bring the youth out. Let us empower them. Let's get this movement pushing.
Absolutely. Well, Maisha, I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you so much.
Blue Girls Turn Gold. And again, I'll post the link to her book and her Instagram and Twitter all on our pages. 103 Jams, 92.1 The Beat, Alt 105, and Movement 1077. And thank you to all my listeners for tuning in to another week of Iheart Communities. I'll see you next week.